receiver, tight end, and running back groups. Eagles came in first. Bengals were high. His old team, the Lions, came in second. Ben Johnson's new team, the Bears, came in 25th. This is an easy out for you, Nick.
What do you mean?
Easy out.
I don't need outs.
It's an easy out.
That's not how I do sports talk. All I do is watch the games and give my takes. I'm not strategizing like you.
Off-ramp, though.
I don't want an off-ramp.
He will in about 6 months.
See, so Brew's got it. I need at some point, maybe it's during predictions week, Brew to actually tell us how he feels about Caleb.
He loves Caleb.
Because it's always,
Caleb.
I like Caleb, and then it's a whole litany of concerns. So I think 25th is probably a touch pessimistic, but I also think that, more than a touch pessimistic, I think it is pessimistic, but I also think it is a reminder that the Bears' additions this offseason, which I think were very important, were on the line and on the defense, not at the skill position guys.
Right.
And the trio of receivers that we all thought, nobody more so than me probably, was going to be super impactful last year, were all in different ways disappointing. And now we can put that on Caleb and on the coordinator and on the head coach. But Keenan Allen obviously was not what they hoped he would be, and he's not on the team anymore. DJ Moore was not as explosive as we've seen him in years past. And some people thought Rome Odunze was the second best. Some people thought he was the best receiver in that class. Right now, it would appear he's a strong fourth or fifth. Like the two, Marvin Harrison, obviously Malik Neighbors, and obviously Brian Thomas Jr., who went after him, jumped him. And so those things, plus the fact that I think people are not as high on Swift as maybe they once were, lead to this drop. Like that's my answer. No exit ramp from me. No, I didn't rank him 25th. Barnwell ranked him 25th.
Exit ramp, right?
I don't want an exit ramp, but I think. Do you think anything?
Highway.
No, I think I have very high expectations for Caleb. Shut up. Go ahead.
Mind-boggling to me.
Wow.
25th? That's crazy. And I think a lot of the reason, and I'm not even, this is not a big criticism of Caleb, because the offensive play calling and everything was not the greatest, obviously. But one of the reasons I think those receivers didn't shine is because Caleb was getting sacked, or he was off schedule, or he was running around. You know what I mean? So I think they're weapons. And you are right in that the improvement on the offensive line is maybe the most exciting thing they did in the offseason. But Odunze, they added Luther Burden, and DJ Moore, I still think is a very good receiver. Swift wasn't as good last year as expected, but I still think he's, pretty good. And then you add the tight ends. They already had Cole Kmet, who's pretty good. They drafted Loveland. I just think the weapons are very good. I think they should probably be middle of and even that, but even 15th is 10 spots up from what he has them now.
So I think the Bears have, because again, this is just running backs, tight ends, receivers. And from looking at the way Barnwell did it, he seemed to really value superstar in a spot. So like the Ravens were in the top 10. And I look at the Ravens as a below average receiving core, average tight ends, superstar running back, and that put it, you know what I mean?
But he said the receivers and tight ends, or receivers at least, weighed more heavily than the running back.
I know that he did, but I'm just saying when you see the Ravens in the top 10 and the Bears here, I think what hurts the Bears, same thing that hurt the Packers in these rankings, is that you don't have any one guy that you're like, that guy's a definite all-pro candidate, right? And so, but I agree with you. This is a little pessimistic for where I see the team, but I don't think he is in the position that any of those teams at the top, like the Eagles, where the Bengals, where you have stars all over the place. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that is actually going to matter, because I think what Caleb needs is good, smart offensive coaching, which I think he will have, and time, which I think he will have, and not have receivers in open revolt against him, which is not going to, he didn't have last year, and I don't think he'll have this year. So I also like the fact that they have two legitimate tight ends.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? People really liked Loveland in this draft, and so all that, I think he is set up to succeed. My worry about the Bears is the defense, which is, historically never the Bears' problem. But, I think the Bears will have a top 12 offense in football this year. And if you pair that with the 15th best defense, you're a playoff team. If you pair that with the 25th best defense, you're not. Right. But I think the offense will be good. And, I don't even like Ben Johnson as much as Kevin Wildes did until he did one press conference he didn't like.
No, I used to I just like Ben Johnson. I didn't like this flippant response to the tush push, but this is also...
You think he's haughty?
Haughty. Did you say haughty?
Haughty.
I didn't like the response, but this will be interesting for Ben Johnson, who had, according to Barnwell, the second best offensive weapons, and now is down to 25th.
That's, by the way, my other takeaway from that I just, fair is fair. Randomly, oddly, yesterday, Coach had a take that I was like, I don't think anyone agrees with you on. That Burrow's the second best quarterback in the league, and then we did a topic on it that Steve Spagnuolo had said it, the Chiefs D coordinator. Brew yesterday, the day before, said that the Lions have their own group of Avengers. And I was like, I totally disagree. I think Amon-Ra's really good and Jahmyr Gibbs is really good. And aside from that, Laporta's good, but Barnwell said they had the second best in the league. So my future president of football operations agrees with you, Brew.
There you go.
Do you think the Niners should be fourth?
No, listen, I love Barnwell. You guys know how much respect I have for him. Again, if I were to own a team, I would install myself, of course, as general manager, but he would be right beneath me. I disagreed with a ton of these rankings. Yeah. I thought the Ravens were too high. I thought the Bills were 28th. I thought they were a little too low. There were a lot of these that it's not how I would rank them, but I mean, it's his opinion.
Were you okay with the Patriots at 30?
A touch high. Just one spot.
A fun episode of Weird and Wonderful, an electric episode, according to Bro.
Electric.
Yes. lot of great baseball.
Tons.
Seeking the unsatisfied.